What's good, all day fam? So the Giants beat the Eagles 34-17. And I told y'all Thursday night football doesn't forgive tired teams or emotional hangovers. I said it before kickoff, this game was never about who's better on paper, it was about who corrects their mistakes faster. Because the NFL doesn't reward comfort, it rewards correction. And tonight the Giants did exactly that. Philly walked into MetLife 4-1. Giants were 1-4, missing Darius Slayton, no Malik Neighbors out for the season, and a rookie quarterback playing through a bad hamstring. On paper, Philly should have dominated this game. But I said this, short weeks expose who's truly focused. And who showed focus tonight, the team everybody counted out, which was the New York Giants. Before the game, I said this game will come down to red zone discipline and turnover control. The Giants scored 5 touchdowns. The Eagles, they scored 0 points in the second half. 0. Jalen Hurts threw his first interception in 305 attempts, picked by Cordell Flott. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And that one mistake flipped the entire game. You could feel the energy leave Philly sideline. That wasn't a random play. That was the momentum breaker that I warned about. That's not fatigue. That's collapse. So, really, to be honest with you, though, since the beginning of the game, you can just see the energy and the momentum that Jaxson Dart and Skattebo brings to the New York Giants. I said this, that I predicted the Giants, I think even before the season started, I predicted the Giants to go all the way to the playoffs because I knew how good the Giants actually could be. I did predict them to be playing this way with Russell Wilson because I wasn't expecting Jaxson Dart to play this soon, but I knew Jaxson Dart was going to get a shot somewhere down the line. I just didn't know when. But regardless who the quarterback was, the Giants, they have the personnel, they have the team, the defense for them to go very far. And I said you can look at my videos previously. So I also said without Landon Dickerson that left guard protection would be a problem, and it was. Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeau collapsed the pocket all night long. Hurts was pressured constantly, forced to move early, and that's where the timing broke. Philly still managed to put up 339 total yards, but they couldn't finish their drives. The Giants had 366 yards, and the difference was execution, efficiency, and emotion. Before kickoff, I said the Giants' only path to winning was run heavy, clock control, and letting Jaxson Dart and Skattebo dictate the rhythm. And that's exactly what happened. Skattebo, the rookie, went off for 3 rushing touchdowns. Jaxson Dart went 17 for 25, 195 passing yards, a touchdown through the air, and another 58 rushing yards with a touchdown on the ground. He had a total of 2 touchdowns. So that's the balance. That's the identity. They didn't try to be what they're not. They played to their strengths, and that's how you turn doubt into dominance. And that's what I was saying like earlier, that if the Giants, even though I picked the Eagles to win this game, I said that the Giants can sneak away with a win if they play to their strengths, and they play to the strengths of their quarterback. And I didn't think the Giants, and another reason why I didn't think the Giants was going to win, because I didn't think that Jaxson Dart was going to be able to push the ball down the field, and he did that tonight. He did that tonight for the first time since he's been starting, and he did that to receivers that weren't big play receivers. So that says a lot about Jaxson Dart, about how he's evolving very quickly, and about how the Giants are starting to quickly open the playbook for him. Meanwhile, Philly couldn't find rhythm. Hurts did throw for 283 yards, a touchdown, and he had a pick. Saquon Barkley carried the ball 12 times for just 58 yards and didn't score once. That's upsetting. They looked good early, but when the Giants adjusted, it was no answer, there was no fire, there was no identity for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's what happens when you rely on talent but lose touch with toughness. The Eagles got out physical. They got outplayed. They got outcoached. I said before the game, when a talented team gets humbled, they either spiral or sharpen. Philly spiraled. They got humbled last week, and tonight they played like they were still processing that loss. The Giants, they played like a team fighting for their lives. That's the psychology of hunger. When you've got nothing to lose, you become dangerous. You could see it in the way Skattebo ran, in the way Dart played. They believed they knew that they could win this game. That's how they played. They did not let the Super Bowl defending champions Eagles dictate this game. They were not threatened. Cam Skattebo and Jaxson Dart are not playing like rookies. Belief is the most dangerous weapon in football, man. So Cam Skattebo, like I said, he had 3 touchdowns. Jaxson Dart, he was calm under chaos. First real statement game in the NFL. I think he played his biggest game tonight. And let's see here. Let's see if I want to go over anything else. The Eagles offense, no red zone presence, no leadership really, no points in the second half. I mean, you can't talk Super Bowl roster when you score 0 after halftime. I predicted the Eagles to beat the Giants 27-17, and the Giants flipped it to 34-17. So I was kind of almost there with the score, but completely wrong with the team. So here's the thing. I said what would decide this game was trenches, turnovers, red zone, and emotional discipline. Every single one of those factors played out. The only thing I missed was which team would execute it better. Because you would think that the Eagles would do that, but they didn't. What the Giants did to the Eagles is what I thought the Eagles probably could have did to the Giants, because I just like I said, I it's kind of hard to say this because I'm not surprised what the Giants did. I just didn't want to pick them to do this against the Eagles because I was expecting the Eagles to bounce back and to play with fire, and they're not. They're not. Their weaknesses are getting exposed. And it's going to be hard for me to keep giving the Eagles leeway if they're going to continue to keep playing like this. So this, I mean, I wouldn't say this is a bad prediction. I mean, this might, the way I'm saying how these games could turn out is still proving my understanding of the game. So everything I said before the game still stands. This league doesn't care about who looks good on paper. It rewards who corrects their corrections much faster. And the Giants corrected it, the Eagles did it, and so that's why the Eagles collapsed and the Eagles got blown out. So that's the story of Thursday Night Football. Not the upset, it's the execution. So like my I missed on the team that I said I was going to win, but you know, that's the difference between guessing and knowing football. So yeah, Giants 34, Eagles 17. Philly walks out of MetLife looking confused, frustrated, and beat in every way. The Giants, they just rewrote their season because whether they're 2-4 now, and so the question now is, do the Eagles, how they respond? You know, how is the Eagles going to respond from this game, or are they going to just keep spiraling? We'll find out next week. And one thing I do want to say, I mean, I can see why AJ Brown is frustrated. I mean, and really the thing about it is, I want to know, like, if you all take like noticing this, that AJ Brown, like the Eagles just have AJ Brown just running under routes. You know, I mean, I would be so frustrated because AJ Brown, he's much more of a receiver than just an under route wide receiver. I mean, he can do the deep ball. He can be a 50-50 receiver. Really, he's like an 80-20 receiver because you throw that ball up when he's going down the field, man, he's catching that ball 80% of the time. You know, and the Eagles are just not doing that. They're not pushing the ball downfield with AJ Brown, and I really don't know why. They're not using AJ Brown how they should be using him, and that could be the reason why they're losing these games. I don't know, man. I don't know who the Eagles have next. Who do they got next? Let me see who the Eagles got next. What is their full remaining schedule? Philadelphia Eagles. And I want to see about the Giants too, because we're going to see if my prediction is going to be right about the Giants going all the way to the playoffs. We are going to see. I'm going to find out right now. So the Eagles got next, the Vikings. It's definitely not going to be a walk in the park. And then they got the Giants again. Wow. Okay. Then they got a bye week 9. Then they got the Packers. Then they got the Lions. Then they got the Cowboys. They got the Bears. And they got the Chargers. They're playing us week 14, December the 8th. Then they got the Raiders. And they got the Commanders. And they got the Bills. The Eagles have a very tough schedule. The only team right here that I'm looking at that they should just without a doubt win is against the Raiders. But all these other teams are very, very tough teams, man. I mean, all of these games for the rest of their season is tough. The only team that's not that should be a win is the. I mean, I ain't gonna say that should be a win, but the only easy game that they have is the Raiders. The Eagles got a brutal schedule. Let me say this again. Their next week they got the Vikings. They could win that game. The Vikings got a quarterback question. I mean, Carson Wentz didn't play well for the Vikings, but the Eagles should win that game. To be honest with you, they can't be beaten by Jaxson Dart and Carson Wentz. Come on. But they got the Vikings and they got the Giants again. So they're playing the Giants twice in 3 weeks. And they got the Packers, Lions, Cowboys, Bears, Chargers, Raiders, Commanders, Bills. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, that's going to be tough. Let me see what the Giants got. Giants remaining schedule. Let's see here. What is the New York Giants remaining schedule? Let's see if the Giants can crack the playoffs. Let's see here. So the Giants got the Broncos next week. That could be a loss, and they're playing at Denver. And then they got the Eagles. We already discussed that. It's really hard to beat the same team twice in the league. It's really hard to do that. If the Giants end up sweeping the Eagles, man, Lord. Then they got the Niners, then they got the Bears, then they got the Packers, they got the Lions, they got the Patriots, they got the Commanders, they got the Vikings, and they got the Raiders, and they got the Cowboys. So the Giants doesn't really have an easy schedule either. To be honest with you, like the Eagles, the only easy team I see on here is the Raiders. All these other teams are brutal. So they both got a pretty tough schedule, man. They both got pretty tough schedule, and it's not going to get easier for the Jaxson Dart. As long as Skattebo can stay healthy, and Tyron Tracy, he's pretty healthy. He played a little bit this game. They could be in these games, every single one of these games. And I don't know. I can't really think on the top of my head right now if they can win, if they can really win these games, but they can be at least be in them. But I'm still going to stick with the Giants cracking into the playoffs. I'm still sticking with it. Because I predicted that earlier this year, and they still got a chance. So I'm sticking with that. I'm just saying both teams got brutal schedules. I mean, yeah. They got, and how many home games they have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they got, 4 home games? 2, 5. They got 5 home games. And all these games are going to be very entertaining. Man, we got some really good games like for the rest of the season, man. We got some awesome games. And the Giants, just to keep you on notice for FYI, Giants fans out there, they got a bye week on week 14. Yeah, they got a bye week on week 14. All right. So, that's all I have for you all. So remember the game, not the hype, and this is reality sports right here, man. You want to come in, you want to know, you want sports, want reality sports, want people to keep it real. This is the channel where I'm going to keep you cutthroat, real, no bias takes, keeping it 100% here. So drop your thoughts, comments in the chat, in the comments, like, comment, share, subscribe, and we're going to be back very, very soon. I'm going to check back in with y'all all day. Deuces.